And again, diseases and the ongoing pandemic, corona, the world is dying, okay, without being fights, without being having disputes, without having right tanks, guns, and bullets. So you see that corona, to what extent corona has affected the world, not only that it has led to the huge number of casualties so far, more than 1,25,000 people they have died, and millions they are the effective of coronavirus. And the international community, the big democracies, these big Western powers, they have gone into panic. They are not able, right, what to do and how to control this pandemic. The economies, right, they have battered. The infrastructure, they right has been closed, and everything is under lockdown. And for how long this is going to continue? And how many more people they are going to die? So therefore, United Nations is ill-equipped to deal with these new challenges of 21st century. And here, as these are mostly global problems, so transnational problems, so United Nations, right, has to be strengthened, and United Nations needs collaboration and cooperation of the rest of the world, so that they can collectively make the world danger free. So therefore, from 21st century problems, these new security problems, I call them non-traditional security problems. Okay, you need to review Security Council or the Charter of United Nations and how we can make it more effective. So we need reforms in Security Council. Why we need reforms? I've already told you. One reason is because of these new security challenges of 21st century, number one. Number two, we need reforms, because we have to decide whether veto has to be continued or veto must be abolished. Thirdly, we need reforms, we need changes, we need to overall Security Council, because this structure 5 plus 10, 15, this was constituted for 58 countries in the world, and at the moment we have 193 countries in the world. 58 and now 193, and we still have the same structure, small Security Council. But we have 4 times more number of countries, but we have the same small infrastructure of Security Council. This is inadequate. This should have also been expanded. Either permanent members should have been expanded, or the structure should have been reviewed accordingly. The next reason why you want to introduce reform and changes in Security Council is that the power equation has changed. The permanent members, they were the power centers of the world at that time. America, UK, France, China, and Soviet Union. And after 70 years, many of them, they have lost their position of preeminence. And we have also seen the rise of the new powerful countries in the world. So why not to eliminate the permanent members who have lost their position in 70 years, and why not to incorporate new powerful nations in the world? Russia is no more powerful. France is no more powerful. UK is no more powerful. So new power centers is Japan. What about South Korea? What about India? What about Brazil? So therefore, we need to introduce, right, the changes in the Security Council, realizing the contemporary needs. Next, why changes are required? You know, if you see the proportionate of the permanent members of the Security Council, most of them, they are from Western world. And rest of the world, right, has no representation in the Security Council. There is no representation from South Asia. There is no representation from the Muslim world. There is no representation from Africa. There is no representation from Latin America. So it is all favored, right, tilted towards West. So this should not be the structure of Security Council. There has to be a balanced, okay, that the powers, they must be analyzed and picked up from all continents of the world. So I have convinced you that you need reforms, okay, because of veto problem, because of the disproportionate states in the world, because of the new power equation in the world, because of the new challenges of the 21st century, and because that now we have 193 states. So you need to work here. What to do? So ladies and gentlemen, as far as the talks on the reforms of Security Councils are concerned, they have been, right, under discussion for so many years. But the problem is with the reforms, right, the international community has not been able to make a consensus on those reforms. Now there are two major groups in the General Assembly which are, right, working on it and which have given their own plans. One is, right, G4 and one is UF, United for Consensus. UFC, United for Consensus. In fact, before I touch these two groups, when Kofi Annan was the Secretary General of United Nations in the last days of 20th century and in the first phase of 21st century, he wanted to introduce reforms, and he tried to do his best that before his tenure was complete, the Security Council must be, right, reconstituted. He also made a panel, and he also invited the suggestions, and ultimately these two groups, they came up with the suggestions that how United Security Council should be reformed. So one group, G87, Grade 4, ये उन्होंने अपना नाम रखा, Grade 4. Grade 4 includes India, Germany, Japan and Brazil. Now try to understand. India from South Asia, Germany from Europe, Japan from Northeast Asia, Brazil from Latin America. They were the champions of this group and also contestants of the permanent membership. And they gave the recommendation that 5 new permanent seats should be created in the Security Council. So instead of 5, they said the total number of permanent members in Security Council should be 10, and veto power should be extended. So they did not want to abolish veto power. उन्होंने कहा 10 परमानेंट हो जाएं, वीटो सबको, और टोटल 24 हों जो इसके अंदर मेंबर्स हों. So this was their decision. And now on the other side, the B plan was given by UFC group, Unified for Consensus, यानी कि रायशुमारी से आप फैसला करें, जो डेमोक्रेटिक वे है. ये भी अनडेमोक्रेटिक है ना, कि आप 10 को फिर वो इख्तियारात दे रहे हैं जो पहले 5 के पास थे. और ये दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है ग्लोबल, जो डेमोक्रेसी को प्रमोट करती है, और ख़ुद डेमोक्रेटिक है नहीं, और ना मेरिट पे फैसले होते हैं. तो once again, okay, you are right bringing more veto power countries, so that means it would be more difficult now that right to have consensus among the 10 countries. We have seen at number of occasions we did not have consensus on the 5 members at Security Council. They could not take action, and therefore how 10 they are going to be together. They would be more difficult to reach to a decision. Anyway, so Unified for Consensus B plan was given by Pakistan, India, Pakistan, Italy, South Korea, and Mexico. Look here, India from South Asia, Pakistan is challenging India, okay, from South Asia, because we have fifth largest population in the world, and we are nuclear power. Okay, number 2, Germany. We are promoting Italy in Europe. Then Japan from Northeast, we recommend North Korea. Okay, and in Latin America, Brazil ki bajaye Mexico. So they were the contestants, right, from Group B, and they said no veto power, and there should be semi-permanent seats. Semi-permanent seats means for 8 years or 10 years. And they also recommended that total number of seats should be 24. And the decision should be taken by a democratic manner, that is consensus. आपस में जो majority का decision हो. So that is democratic, okay. And now these recommendations, obviously they were put for discussion, and these proposals, right, they were dealt with very half-heartedly, and they were thrown into the cold storage. Why? Because in order to make any change in the Security Council, you need the concurrence, razamandi of these big 5s. And why these big 5s would add 2 new suggestions, why they would agree to 5 more veto yielding countries, why they would like that if the 5 are enjoying the power, they would not like the power to be shared by 10 countries, and America particularly. Okay, America would never like. So they don't want the infrastructure to be changed. These big 5s, they don't want, okay, these new countries, right, to be given membership into the Security Council, because once again they are safeguarding their vested interests, and they are not safeguarding the global interest. And this good homework, right, which was done during Kofi Annan days, right, that was rejected, and so many allegations were put, right, on these reforms by American representative at that time, John Bolton. So let's move towards the conclusion. So we have reached a stage where one thing is important, that Security Council needs reforms, and the second thing we need that the 5 permanent members, and particularly America, they would never like to see these reforms to be implemented. And that means the Security Council will remain a paralyzed body, 200 countries, so many new global threats, and again the same inadequate structure, inadequate charter, and again these big fives enjoying sweeping powers over there. Security Council will become more and more dysfunctional and impotent if the big fives do not take these proposals seriously. They must realize that this is the only global body which has been entrusted with the noble task of promoting peace in the world. And if we don't let it work, and we don't help it promote its charter, cooperate with it, then Security Council, what is the use of having Security Council? Although it has failed to address the problems of the small countries like Palestine, Kashmir, Rohingya, yet there is a hope that these small countries, they have a global platform where they can do their catharsis, they can bring their complaints and grievances for the redressal. So they can be highlighted, so they can be discussed. United Nations, and particularly Security Council, needs the decision of the global community, and otherwise then there would be no other forum where the global community can sit and talk and negotiate. With these words, I end my lecture. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Allah.